The man of the hour, Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic.
MVP.
So
yeah, man, MVP.
that was my question about MVP. Would seeding be the only thing that keeps him away from the MVP, or will seeding even impact? Like, let's say that the Mavs drop 4 games and they go down to like the 7th seed into the play-in. Will that even matter? Or as long as they make it into the play-in, Luka's gonna lock in that MVP? Do you think?
I mean, in my opinion, this is a very difficult topic because I mean, over the years in the NBA history, seeding matters, right? And that takes some people haven't been chosen MVP because of what their records have done. But how I like to think of it is, it's most valuable player, right? Most valuable. It's not the best player. If it was the best, the MVPs will be all over the place. But the most valuable player, how I like to look at it is, look at this team and look at what this player is doing. How good is this team doing with this player? Now take that player off of the team. How good are they going to be doing? If you take Luka off of the Mavs, they are a lottery team.
Mm-hmm.
They are a lottery team. And if you take Jokic off of the Denver Nuggets, they're not going to do as good. But I feel like they're still going to do better than what the Mavs would do. Like the Mavs would be pretty much one of the worst teams in the NBA, in my opinion, with that if you take Luka, just because he does so much for them. But I think the Nuggets, I don't remember the exact record, but they have a decent record without Jokic playing. But Luka, like I said, if you take Luka off the Mavs, they're not going anywhere. They're going to win like 2 games probably. But they're not going to. I mean, and just take a look at the recent games he's done. The 60-point triple-double, how much did they win by? That game went to overtime.
Bruh.
He literally had to have a perfect game. Everything had to go perfectly.
Bruh.
And they barely won.
Barely. Bruh, it's so crazy. I was laying down on the couch editing the last episode, and I was watching the game, right? And they were down by 10 with a minute left. And I was like, man, this game's over. Bro, I fell asleep. I got the notification on my phone. It said Dallas in overtime. I said, ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no way.
I said, ain't no fucking way. I went back and watched the game. I could not believe what the fuck I saw, bro.
Literally a historic game.
Literally. And I feel like that game alone is going to, like, it's one you're not going to forget about. And one that you're going to be like, oh, yeah. Because there only been 2 players to do that. James Harden and him.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then also, like, the last game that he had, he just dropped 50. And they just barely won against the fucking Rockets, right?
Yeah.
They barely just won against the Rockets. So he does so much, and it's like, bro, they're barely winning. So what else do you want him to do? He has to drop like 50 points
50?
a game,
He's
60 points 50. A game, and they're barely winning against these teams. I mean, so
yeah, one was against Spurs. Yeah.
Oh, Spurs. I said Rockets.
And he's dropped 50 in 3 of the last 5 games. Like he's going nuclear, bro.
Bruh. Yeah. So I mean, right now I think in my eyes, the front. Yeah, he's locked in, and he's the front runner for the MVP right now.
What do you think?
It's him and Jokic though.
Yeah, no way Luka doesn't win it this year, in my opinion. He's going to keep up the performance, so it's really just up to Dallas to keep up their fair share of work. Because, like you said, the seeding does matter, which I don't know. I'm iffy on that, but it does matter. So, in my opinion, that is going to be the only thing that prevents Luka from getting the MVP. But from how he's looking like, Dallas been playing great lately.
Yeah, because of him.
Yeah. I mean,
much.
Earlier this season, wasn't Dallas in like the 10th seed? They were
down. They were down there.
Now they're getting the groove back on. Getting the groove back. So I could totally see them keeping this up, going to the playoffs, not even into the play-ins, just being top 6. And if they're in the top 6, I don't see how Luka doesn't win it.
Yeah, I think that's the point part too, because it'll be different if your team is if you had to fight for the play-in to even make the playoffs. But if you're already locked in the playoffs, I mean, you've done enough so far because your team is already in the playoffs. But to go against Jokic, like what he's been doing lately, it just sucks because you have to think about like how realistic is it that he gets 3 MVPs though? Like not only back to back, but 3 MVPs.
Yeah, not only that, he's 0.5 assist away from averaging a triple-double as a center for the best team in the West with the second best record in the league. Well, tied for second. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, unrealistic, really.
But just we're gonna have to give it to Luka. How can you drop a 60-point triple double and not give it to the dude? How? It's like, man, Jokic got to drop 70, 20. If Jokic had like a 70, 20, 15 game, okay, then we're talking. But I feel like it's gonna take like an all-time great performance from another MVP candidate like Luka or Jason Tatum or KD to even like get him back into the conversation.
Yeah,
I honestly believe.